Hey, what's up guys, it's Eddie Zorn. This time we're on YouTube, so that's a bit different. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Eddie Zorn. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. It's all Warframe, and every now and again we jump to a different game, but normally it's Warframe. So if you do enjoy this video and you want to join our community, make sure to head over to Twitch through the link down in the description and follow the channel. When I started playing Warframe about a month and a half ago, I decided I wanted to stick with it and make it my main game to stream. With that, I needed some guidance, and the guidance for me came through my community, which were very veteran players, but when they're not online or when I am not streaming and I don't want to bother them on our Discord, which is also in the description, I look to YouTube, as I've always done. And when I look for a build on YouTube, all I really find in the Warframe section is endgame builds, for which you need very good mods. You need Arcane Energize for the arcane stuff, Arcane Guardian, all that sort of thing. You need the primed mods that are very hard to get and very luck based. If Borrow doesn't carry them, you're out of luck. What I did want to do is make a build with which you can play with your friends, be very productive and be very helpful to your team, and you don't have to feel like you're a burden on your teammates, because who wants that? This build is a CC oriented build, which gives you more loot as well, and it's awesome. All I can say is very strong, it's very helpful to your team. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't have to look at my face the entire time. Here we go. So the first build I decided to make is a build on Khora, because I've been playing her a lot, really enjoy her, and she's very strong. Reason she is very strong is because of her 4 ability. This is what I use her for. It's a Strangle Dome. If you don't know what the Strangle Dome is, it's basically some sort of webby, living chain ensnaring strangle thing that just pulls every enemy in its radius up in the air, makes them completely useless, and makes it very easy for your team to just wreck them, really. Just kill them. Keep in mind that this build is not for people that have everything in the game. It's not for people who have been playing for years that want to do the absolute most damage, solo arbitration until 4 in the morning, starting from 8 PM. You know, it's not like that. This build is for absolute beginners that just unlocked Khora, that haven't progressed through the entire game, but they want to go play with their friends, want to go to 4 hours arbitration, survival, any arbitration really, want to farm gear, farm all these plastids you need, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's talk a bit about how the build works. So I've jumped into a random survival mission right here. This is a very low level one. It's just for me showing the build really. The way this build works is, as you can see here in the doorway, I've opened up my 4 ability. What this does is it blocks off the entire region. If I put it here, no enemy can go through. You and your team, because this is a team effort, remember, this build is for playing with a team. You just stand in here, everything that comes in will get caught in the web. This way, there's no way any of your teammates get shot, get hit, or anything, and it's just a good time. So you don't need all that much. You don't need all the prime mods, you don't need all the crazy prime weapons in order to be very useful for your team. And now we're getting raided, or ambushed, by these guys. Well, I guess it's a good way to show it. There we go. You just put it down, everyone that comes in gets stuck in the web, as you can see right here. There we are. That's just how the build works, simple as that. For me, this is one of the most fun builds to use, because I can play with my friends that have been playing for a long time. I can play with all the viewers on my stream with no problem. They can not feel like I'm a loser, I can't do anything. I can actually support them, do everything I want, and no one dies if you play correctly. So this works not only for this low level stuff in which they actually instantly die from the web, this also works for 4 or 5 hour arbitration runs with the right team comp, and you won't be useless even though you have shit mods, shit weapons and shit everything. So let me show you the build on how to actually do that. As you could see, the Strangle Dome was very useful, and that's the ability this build is centered around. We could talk about all the other ones we have, but for this build and for the purpose of this build, it doesn't really matter at all. All we're talking about Strangle Dome. So it's got certain drain, which isn't that high, especially with all the good people you'll be playing with, giving you an extra energy and all that. The important thing is the radius and the duration. As you can see, it now has 13.25 meters radius and a duration of 31.6 seconds. So that's 70 energy every like half a minute. Very easy to keep up. As you can see, all these mods are fairly easy to get. You can get them right when you start the game, and if not, they're very cheap if you want to buy them on Warframe.market. Most of these mods people just have lying around. They don't use them anyway because they have better mods, or they've just dropped like 5 or 10 of them. This way you don't have to sell your mom, your girlfriend and your cat to get some plat, buy all the arcane insane stuff. And this one really works well for me. As you can see, the highest we need is a range. We go for some duration and efficiency. Strength is not important in this build. You're not the damage dealer. Keep in mind, this build works best if you play with 3 of your friends or other teammates that can actually pull out the damage. But we do use Pilfering Strangledome. This ties in to your Strangledome ability. This is the absolute reason you're not useless and people actually want to bring this core build along. Enemies held in the Strangledome have a 65% chance of dropping additional loot. Make it rain, baby. That's all I can say. It's that easy. This mod alone makes it worth bringing a Khora, just as people would bring a Necros or a Hydroid. This is a fairly new mod, and that's why I'm making this build right now. The only thing I've really changed about Khora when it comes to Forma is this steel charge. And truth be told, that was a mistake. This is very good if you want to use Khora for a melee clearing aspect with her one ability. For this build, I would recommend you guys to go with Corrosive Projection, because everyone she hits has the armor reduced. Everyone that gets caught up in the web has their armor reduced. So the only thing I would recommend is for you to get Corrosive Projection and change the polarity on this one into the minus, because the standard is this thing, this polarity type. And as you can see, that would actually give us 4 less points capacity. So the thing you would want to do is not have this one in here. Don't have this V polarity, because I've actually added that. If you don't have that, you'll have enough, so you only have to form her once for the aura. Constitution for the ability duration, Vitality just for some survivability. As you can see, I haven't even maxed it, and I can go for hours on end in arbitration survival if I wanted to. We use Augur Reach for the reach, Streamline for efficiency. Overextended is probably the hardest mod to get. Just use this for the range. If you don't have it, I highly do recommend to get this for this build. I'm sorry, this is the only one that's really hard to get. As you can see, the Pilfering Strangledome, you need Exalted with the... Let me show you. You need Exalted with the Red Veil. I don't have it either, but it's only 13 platinum on the Warframe market right now. And if you can't get 13 plat, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because next thing I'm making will probably be a plat guide for beginners. How to make platinum and all that kind of good stuff. Stretch is very easy to get, just some extra range, and then the continuity is for the ability duration. Enemy sense I'll just put in here because I like to see where my enemies are coming from on the minimap. and it's very easy that way if you're running around a bit in a survival to see where people and enemies actually have a choke point where you can put down the thing and just stand there. But I do highly recommend standing somewhere where there won't be any enemies spawning behind you, especially when it's one of those very long survival missions. I know this is a very short video, and I do realize that we haven't gone over the most important thing, which is, of course, my fashion frame on Khora. If you want to see more of my fashion frame on Khora, I will explain everything in a video. Just let me know in the comment section down below. This is basically all you need to know. One more tip though, make sure Venari is always on heal. That's just a tip, you know. I do apologize if you thought this was going to be an endgame build for Khora, because obviously it is not. This is for absolute beginners that want to play with people who want to do something that's very endgame, like 4-hour survivals or anything like that, and still feel useful while having a ton of fun with Khora. So if you like this video and if you want to see more beginner stuff, because keep in mind I'm still a beginner, we will progress through all the builds and all the content later on. When I get there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want to see this build in action, make sure to drop by my Twitch channel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and even some more sometimes when I have the time. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, Eddie out.